tall orders of fighting COVID-19, but if we implemented all the other standard operating procedures, we could and we will be able to fight the pandemic. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us now this morning as we continue with our last segment of Good Morning Uganda. We start at 6:30 every day here on UBC TV. Now we'll just get straight to the discussion, and today we'll talk about skills development, and joining me in studios is Mary Violet Kajumba, the grants specialist from the Private Sector Foundation Skills Development Facility. You're very welcome, Mary Violet Kajumba.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers, UBC viewers. I'm very happy to be here. Good morning, Jagenda. I'm privileged to be here.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having allowed to make it here, and for, of course, having allowed to join us on Good Morning Uganda today. We talk about skills development, and you're this grant specialist. What do you do now as a grants specialist?
Well, thank you so much. I'm a grant specialist, like you've said. I'll introduce myself. Mary Violet Kajumba, and I'm working under the Skills Development Facility. It's a project under Private Sector Foundation, and it is being implemented on behalf of the Government of Uganda. The Skills Development Facility, I just give a brief background about it.
Okay.
It's a component of the Uganda Skilling Program. Uganda Skilling Program is a bigger component, but as a private sector, we only implement the skills development component, which is employer-led training for the country, and basically it is to skill employees and different people, as you will hear me talk about, in order to improve quality, productivity, and also enhance the employees' capacity in the different ways. And in that way, it's hoped that the people will improve on their quality of products and be able to compete on the international markets, hence improving the incomes, and as a result, it also impacts on the country in terms of economic development. Yes.
Okay, well, it's skills. You call it the skills program? The
skills development facility. It's a facility.
Yes, skills development facility, that I know. The SDF, but you talked about the bigger one.
The bigger one is the Uganda Skills Development Program.
Okay.
Yes.
And you as a private sector foundation have a particular component in here that yes, you get to.
The bigger program is implemented by Ministry of Education, but for us as private sector, we implement the skills component.
Why did you choose that? Where did you see the gaps for you to, as private sector, to get into where you are?
As private sector to get into this, generally it was a survey that was done, I think, countrywide. And then as a private sector, we have dealt with the different companies. We know how different companies work, their kind of work methods, the kind of employees they have, and there was a gap in terms of skill. And even in terms of generally training across the country, we realized that yes, students are being trained out there, but when they come out, they lack some skills, practical skills, to enable them do the job thoroughly or efficiently and effectively. So we thought by doing this retraining of the students and workers and across all sectors, it would help improve the skills of the employees as well as students, and then it would impact on the productivity of the different companies as well as the quality of products being produced. Hence, they are able to compete on the international market. Because one of the issues was, yes, we have the employees, but their skills were not, in terms of production and productivity, the kind of products being produced are not competitive on the international market. Yeah. Okay,
well, that's very important. Now, when you look at Uganda's second national development plan, which we just ended last year, and now the NDP3, which also have, particularly I think it's chapter 16 of NDP3 that talks about human capital development, and you will notice that Uganda is considered as one of the youngest, I think second youngest nation of the world, and we don't seem to be leveraging on that capacity. Let's look at our human capital, for example, because it's a resource that we have, our human capital. How skills are human capital, and I want to look at you as a private sector foundation, especially now from the skills development facility, how you think Uganda's human capital development can be enhanced, skilled, and leveraged upon that, because we don't seem to be competitive in the world.
Okay. Yes, okay, actually that's why on this particular program, we have actually 4 windows. We implement it under 4 windows. The first window is window 1, which is skills shortage in the formal sector. Skills shortage? Yeah, we address
in the formal sector.
Yes, we address skills shortage in the formal sector, where we're looking at workers in the different companies to ensure enhance their skills, to ensure that they are able to gain those skills that can put them at the other level, so that they are able to produce for the company better services. And we all know that most companies now, they are employing the youth, but these youth who are coming up don't have the actual skill because of our system in terms of training, our training system or education system, which is more of theoretical rather than practical. And as you have said, that Uganda's population, we can say over maybe 70% is the youth. So we saw the need to invest in the youth, that we have them skilled, because they are the population that is coming up to take over these roles in the future. So it is very important to ensure that these youth are trained, they have the required skills, and they can be able to compete on the market in terms of employment. Because the old population is aging up, yet they're going to take up these roles. So for us to have that human resource capacity, it's better to build the capacity of the youth population right now, so that in the next like 5 years or 10 to come, we have these skilled youth. So we also have another window under which we implement is window 2, which is also addressing skills in the informal sector. And as
the first window is a skills shortage.
Yeah,
in the formal sector.
The formal sector.
Then the next window.
Then the next window is also we address skills shortage, but this time in the informal sector. And as we all know, that in the informal sector is employing many youth.
Exactly.
Who have come up with their different
innovations.
But yes, they have these innovations, but how efficient are they doing this work in terms of practical skills? So in this informal sector, we look at enhancing their skills in those different innovations they've come up with. For example, if you look at these people in Ukatwe, they are very good at what they do.
Welding and
yes. We have that Musa Bode school. We have different youth coming up with different things. Kisenyi is full of those youth. So for us, to enhance their capacity. Most of them are even the informal. They have not learned. We are talking about those people who have got skills on job training. So what do we do? How do we help these people to get further training to improve on whatever they have? So this program basically looks at it, recognition of prior learning. Yes, it also looks at it, but we also have another program of recognition of prior learning, but we also address it in that form. So we look at training these and having them certified. For example, here we have DIT, under the Ministry of Education, that is the Directorate of Industrial Training. So these youth who are there, they have all the skill. So it's just a matter of polishing their skill, and they are able to go out there and get even better opportunities. But if you don't have anything that talks about it, I will tell you, I know how to navigate a plane. What is it that shows that I know? I may have done it informally, but I need something to show somebody that I have that skill. So we have ensured under that window that these informal employees or workers they do some bit of repolishing. We have funded them to be repolished in terms of their skill area. So after that, they are assessed and certified by DIT to give them that paper, which will give them value somewhere. If someone wants to go and train maybe further, they can use that. You go there and it shows the level of your skill, and you're able to start from wherever and upgrade.
Okay, so now, yes, we now talk about the skills development facility, the facility itself. So what do you do with the people? Because yes, you are looking at the shortage that we have in the formal sector, but you're also looking at the shortage that we have, the skill shortage that we have in the informal sector, which is also another very big employer. So what do you do now with these people? Because we see DIT, which I think is also under the Ministry of Education. They also do that. I don't know where industrial research here is, but because DIT here helps to, like you're saying, to give you some form of something to present that yes, I can, because you can learn on the job. You learn from your dad, you learn from your people that you're staying with, you learn how to actually do vehicle mechanics. But you didn't go to class to study physics, but you can actually repair a car engine and it operates and works normally. You need something just like that. We see now what DIT here does. So what do you do at the facility? Do you give money for skills? Do people come to you and run? Because we just need to know. You are the grants specialist, for example. Do people come to you and say, we have come, we need to get some monies because we are in Katwe at Musa Bode or elsewhere? What happens?
Okay. Yes, I was coming to that because I was still explaining under which the windows that we operate.
Okay.
Then there's
a third window.
The third window and fourth.
Okay.
We do 4 windows. So under the fourth window, it's basically innovative training, and there we target public and private training institutions that come up with the new ideas of training, new products, and what the like. Then under window 4, it's basically recognition of prior learning and skills certification. So how do we implement this window? We were skills development facility under the World Bank. The World Bank is our funder.
Okay.
It's a government funder. It's a loan that the government received from the World Bank under the umbrella Uganda Skills Development Program. So as skills development facility, we received $21 million to implement this program under those 4 windows. So how do we do it? We advertise for grant applications for those interested in this, and we operate under 6 sectors. That is the manufacturing sector, construction, agriculture. We have ICT. We also have tourism and hospitality. But at the beginning, we started with the 3: agriculture, manufacturing, and construction. But because of demand, we also included transport and logistics, tourism and hospitality, and ICT. So we have 6 sectors that we deal in. So we advertise across all the 4 windows. We advertise, call for applications from companies and public training institutions. So for companies, under window 1 and 2, we basically target companies.
Window 1, which is formal employment, and window 2 is informal.
Under window 1, we target companies, private companies. Then under window 2, we target self-employed people, trade unions, associations, and cooperatives. Yeah, those are the people we find. So when we place an advert, we basically call for people in those categories. They apply. When you go through, because it's a process of screening and appraising and then selection. When you go through, you're given grants. Then under window 3, we do public and private training institutions also. Then window 4, we do still public and private training institutions. So how do we do it? Under window 1, we have how we operate this. It's a matching grant. So if you're a company, and depending on your turnover level, it's we provide our grant goes to a maximum of 300,000. Then out of that 300,000, you as a company that has applied, depending on your turnover, for example, if your turnover is up to 300 million, then you will be required to put in 25%. No, 20% under window 1. Then if it's beyond 300 million, then we will do a 50-50%. It's a matching grant. Then under window,
you call it matching grant? It's a
matching grant because you contribute a certain percentage and we also give it you a certain percentage. Yes. Yeah, we do that to encourage people to, of course, you know, when something is 100% free, someone will not value it very much. But if you put in, you will know what it means to, what you want maybe out of this, and you will evaluate. So that's how it works. Then under window 3, which is the innovative training, we give a grant of 75%. Then the other institution also puts in 25%. But it's either in cash or kind. For cash, it's the private institutions that will put in 25%. Then for public institutions, we allow them to contribute in kind.
Okay, well, that's very important. Now, we all agree that the low levels of skills contribute to the low levels of productivity as a nation and as a country. I'm looking at SDF under the PSFU with a grant of $21 million US. Now, to start with, how long is this facility? How long are we supposed to have this facility? What is the time frame of we absorbing the $21 million US to do what you are trying to do?
Okay, the skills development facility project was a 5-year program.
Okay.
It commenced in 2016 October, and it officially ended last year, 2020 in August. But due to the COVID pandemic disruption, we were able to ask for a 1-year more extension, and we were given up to December this year. Yes. Okay. So it will be ending December this year.
So we only have a few months, about 5 or 6 months, 5 months to end it.
Yes.
What were your targets? How many people did you want to reach? What were your targets basically for the 5 years with that facility?
Okay. I can say that the targets, these were set according to window, per window.
Okay.
They were set per window. I can say under window 1, the target was supposed to be 1,500 beneficiaries. I mean companies, yes, company beneficiaries. But as we talk now, we have over 2,000 beneficiaries, I mean companies that we have sponsored. No, over 5,000. And we have trained over 20,000 beneficiaries. Then under window under window 2, the target was also, we targeted to award like 1,000 companies.
Under window 3?
No.
Under window 2?
Under window 2, we targeted they were targeting 300 companies, but we have been able to award 514. And we have
the target was 300?
Yes.
And you shot to 500?
Yes.
Oh,
because the demand was high. And then those are companies, I'm talking about associations.
Not individuals.
And not
yes,
individuals.
Companies, I understand.
Then individuals, we have been able to train 56,000, over 56,000 beneficiaries.
And what was the target? 20,000?
Yes.
The target was 20,000?
Yes.
And you've doubled that?
We've doubled that.
Well, that's very great.
Then under window 3, we targeted to give 8 companies, but we have shot it with 16. Okay. 16 public institutions, and then the beneficiaries are over 2,000 so far.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very important. Mary Violet Kajumba is a grant specialist from the Skills Development Facility under the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda. And of course, we're discussing and talk about Uganda skills development. We'll take a break and return. When we return, we will continue the conversation and also get feedback from you on our WhatsApp number that will shortly be on the screen. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Uganda, today is a great day to work towards your dreams. Dial *185 *7# and select savings to save as low as 500 Ugandan shillings on regular savings or 250,000 Ugandan shillings for fixed deposits. Airtel Money Super Saver is powered by KCB Bank Uganda. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. T's and C's apply.
Echa COVID-19 kijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
It's Good Morning Uganda Extra. My name is UGANDAextra. Welcome back from the break, and we continue our conversation here on skills development. And with me in studios is Mary Violet Kajumba, the grant specialist from the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, and the special, skills development facility, the SDF, here with me to talk about skills development. Mary, back to you here. This program is ending. The facility is ending in December this year, and how much have you done that you are feeling proud about it, and that you really feel you've actually absorbed the $21 million and that you are happy? Yes, you've given us the statistics of the numbers of the persons, you've met your expectations and even surpassed them. But what are these tangible deliverables that you look to and say, yes, we've been able to impact our society?
Okay, thank you. The achievements under this program, I can say, are huge. We've been able to have companies, associations, and different public institutions benefit from this in terms of skilling. We have had over 50,000 trained and assessed. We have had those that have gotten DIT certifications. We have a number of about 6,000 people that have been assessed and certified. There's been increased productivity in the businesses of the different companies and individuals. We've had over 20 companies get UNBS certification, that they are able, even their products are able to go on market shelves like supermarkets. Some can now export their products abroad. For example, we have Empower East Africa that is dealing in horticulture. They were able to attain the MAIF certification. And for you to be able to export abroad in these kinds of stuff, you must have that certification. They were able to get that certification. I can tell you right now, they are able to export. They have gotten 3 contracts abroad. They have Denmark. In Denmark, they have H&M that has contracted them to supply them with the horticulture, things like hot pepper and the like. They have gotten a contract with the Arab company They have gotten a contract with the UK company, the UGANDAextra. And yes, then we have others that have gotten the UN-based certification. Their products are now on the market, in market shelves. If you go to supermarkets, we have different companies, NACA Investment, BFF Foods, many of them actually. There are over 20 that have gotten that certification. And for us, we feel that's an achievement because that's not what has been happening before. Their products could be refused. And the products ranging from mushrooms, bee, even these other products like fish, people have gotten certified and they can be able now to export some of these products. Then we have had 9 public institutions certified by international accreditations. We sponsored, for example, 6 vocational training institutions to get a City and Guild certification and ECTIB. These are international certifications that can enable, if someone got that kind of certification, they're able to work anywhere in the world. And yet that certification previously has been so expensive to get if you're doing it online and getting it from abroad. But by bringing the services nearer here, it's going to be cheap, a little bit subsidized, and people can be able to afford it. For us, we feel that's a big achievement. And as we go into the oil and gas industry, some of these standards have been set by the industry. You must have this kind of certification. So it's an opening for our people in the country, and we feel that's a great achievement. We have also had, we have been able to contribute in a big way to the oil and gas sector by enabling these institutions be able to assess and certify students to come out and be able to get those certifications. There have been some, actually, as we talk now, some students have already gotten jobs in the employment sector of the oil and gas. Then we have also been able to train over 1,075 heavy goods vehicle drivers who are required by the oil and gas industry, and these other transport in the transport area. For example, previously, most people have been driving these heavy vehicles, those trailers from Mombasa to Kampala to wherever in East Africa. Most of them were not Ugandans, I can tell you. But right now, as we talk, the 175 that we have trained,
all Ugandans?
Yes, they are all Ugandans, and I want to assure you they have all gotten jobs right now. They're out there working, and as a result, we have even been able to fund Safeway Right Way, is the training institution, and they got this, by the way, they got the certificate, the East African certification, that standard, so they can work anywhere.
So they can drive in the East African region?
Yes.
Without any hassles? In Tanzania,
without any
in Kenya,
hassles,
in Uganda, elsewhere?
Yes, and actually we are training 100 more. We have added funds to Safeway Right Way to train more. Of course, we have not met that capacity, but at least it's a huge contribution. And as a result of that, Safeway Right Way and Uganda's Driving Association, they have been able to get funds from other donors to be able to train because they see the value in this. Then we have also been, like under the Window 3, I told you it's innovating. We deal with public training institutions. We are able to fund Muni University in Arua.
In Arua.
Muni in Arua, yes. To fund them to get the first bachelor's degree in welding, specialized welding.
There's a bachelor's in welding?
Yes,
in this
they have
country
developed
now?
a course in that in collaboration with the Genova University in Italy. So there is that course, that curriculum they have developed for bachelor. It's at the bachelor's level, which is the first ever in Uganda, and it's an international certification. So it's at both levels, bachelor's certificate and diploma. So we feel proud of that. And this curriculum is already approved. It's in the National Council of Higher Education.
Higher Education.
In its final stages of approval, we believe it's a big achievement.
There's a question here for you to say. You wanted to add something, or I pick somebody's question. It's a very good project, especially helping the young entrepreneurs and the private partners. My question is that, do you also work with the district local governments? And if you do, how do you do it? Somebody's asking a question here.
Okay. Yes, we work across the country. And how do we work with across the country? Like I told you, we advertise for these grants. when these grants are, okay, when people apply, how do we work with the district local councils?
Local councils.
Because, for example, for us to be sure, when we advertise these grants, we don't just give them because you have applied. We do a due diligence for us to know that this company is actually there and it will impact on the
society,
the
community.
So when we do a due diligence, of course, we also collaborate with the local councils if they know about this. What does it do? How has it helped in the community? And how will it help? So for us, that's how we relate with the district local people. Yes.
Okay, that's very important. Now, I think picking it up from this question from somebody here who did not include his name, but the number ends with 6672. Just gleaning from this, you gave us very good statistics of your targets were 20,000, you shot up to 50,000. You had the plan of 18 or 8, you went to 16. You had the plan of this and went to that. Are these scattered across the country, or they are in a particular area of Uganda? Is it across the country? Your beneficiaries across the country?
Yes, like I told you, this skills development program is a government of Uganda program. It's a project funded by the government of Uganda to benefit every Ugandan. So even when we do calls for applications, it's supposed to be across the country. It's not only a concentrated area, maybe central or east, where it's general. And the people I'm talking about are across the country. Somebody is asking a question. Do they do skills training, or do you also give money like Entandikwa? We now talk about Emyoga. Do you just give money for skills training, or you also give money like Entandikwa? Here is money to some carpentry people in maybe in Zambia, to some car washers, Kubiri or elsewhere. What do you do? Okay. Well, this program, the way it was designed, it's not about giving money. Yes, we have heard those questions.
It's different from
Emyoga. Emyoga is totally different from this one. This was designed basically to skill Ugandan, to provide you the hands-on skills so that you can be able to come up with something yourself and be able to sustain yourself. It's not about spoon feeding you with Emyoga. This is very different. It's skilling you, giving you a hands-on skill, which will last forever, and you know what to do with that hands-on skill thereafter to be able to improve your livelihood. Yes.
So haven't you had people come to you asking for money in that regard?
Definitely, we have heard that, but of course we explain to them this is not. Definitely, most people think that after we have skilled them, they come, that we give them in Tandikwa. Actually, that's what they thought the project was, but the design of the project was basically to scale. And maybe that is one of the lessons we've learned from implementing this. Maybe if there is any future second skills development facility, maybe we can propose that to government, because most people say, no, now you have skilled us, then what do we do after? Maybe you give us something to push us, a push-up capital, something like that.
And I think that's also now very important. You talked about your windows. Window 1, window 2, which I understood very well. Now for window 1 is we talk about formal employment or formal sector. Window 2 we talk about the informal sector. And the issue here is, do you find a jobless Jagenda and you skill them, or you find a Jagenda who is welding but does not know how to do it well and give them a skill? Do you find a farmer Jagenda who is just doing his farming recklessly, or you find a jobless Jagenda who you train how to do agriculture?
Okay, like I mentioned to you, how we deal with the company, we don't deal with the individuals. But like I mentioned, like in window 1, we are looking at supporting your employees, your suppliers, and your subcontractors. So, for example, if you're like, say like I told you, Empower Africa that exports horticulture. Empower Africa may be having suppliers, and those suppliers maybe could be having some kind of, gap that fails them to supply things that are at that quality. These suppliers maybe are also getting these items from some other people. So what we do, we provide funds to, for example, to Empower, to train their suppliers where they've identified that gap. If it is welding, there are welding associations, or it is your company, maybe it could be Jagenda Metalworks. You have your employees. Where have you seen the gap? These employees, and you want them to improve for your products to be more competitive on the market. So we will give Jagenda Metalworks money, they train, certify them, and then the end product will be improved productivity, and the quality of products have improved and can be able to
So
compete.
are the facilitators your facilitators, or you get them from?
No. What we do, when you apply, we give you liberty to look for that trainer. And by the way, whether the trainer is from abroad, as long as the person is bringing in some improved skill that is not here, or to improve your workers, to improve the methods of work in your company, we still pay for it. It can be a local trainer, it can be an international trainer, as long as they are going to improve the skill of the workers.
So if I tell you I have a facilitator from Kenya, for example, who is coming to teach my people how to wash cars, or how to, well, you're talking about transport, how to drive, defensive driving and all the things, and the facilitator is coming from Kenya, you facilitate for that.
Very well.
That's very important. Now, somebody called Agaba Perfect from Kakumiro has two questions. You will, of course, take one because the other doesn't concern you. He's saying that where did Uganda get interested in hosting Afghanistan refugees? But yet again, well, that's a question that will go to the Minister of Disaster Preparedness. But what about if they had said Afghanistans are coming here to develop a vaccine for COVID-19? Would we even ask a question that why are Afghanistans coming to give us a vaccine for COVID? So I think this is not called for now. And second, if you talk about refugees, then they are refugees. Why would we even categorize refugees? Whether they're coming from Afghanistan or Burundi or Kenya or South Sudan or anywhere, they're refugees.
And by the way, maybe before you go into his question, one thing I can tell you, on this particular project, we have also endeavored to skill refugees so that they can get skills and be able to come up with their own creative employment opportunities to
benefit themselves,
and to reduce dependence on the government providing for all of them.
Okay, that's
yes, we have actually supported over 640 something refugees. Yes,
very important. But of course, the question that comes to you here, it says that in Kakumiro district, why is it that the program of the private sector foundation does not operate in Bunyoro region, especially in Kakumiro? Don't you operate in Bunyoro district, in Bunyoro region?
Well, I think in Kakumiro you may not have applied, but like I've said, this program is a country program. It runs across the country regardless of where you're coming from. And when we do proposals, it's open and free and fair.
Okay.
And what he's saying that maybe it is basically in Kakumiro where we don't have a beneficiary. Okay. But I can assure you, in Bunyoro region, we have beneficiaries in Hoima, we have beneficiaries in Masindi, we have beneficiaries in Kagadi. Yes. Okay,
somebody here also is nameless, and I don't know why people want to send their messages without a name attached to it. You rather even tell a lie that you are so and so, but don't send a message without a name. But somebody here says, how about Teso region? How about Teso region? Now, you've just talked about Bunyoro, but somebody is from Teso and wants to know whether you also did something in Teso. Then here, good morning. Thank you so much for the show. I would like to know the criteria that you use for selecting the districts you are operating in. Otherwise, why is the project not in some districts? I am Lawrence from Koboko. You see, now somebody is from, as far as West Nile is concerned, in Koboko, and is saying the criteria for choosing the districts that you operate in, because they're not seeing in Teso, they're not seeing in Koboko, and somebody has talked about Bunyoro.
Okay, in Teso, that person I think doesn't know. In Teso we have like 4 beneficiaries from Palisa. We have a beneficiary from Sorority. Yes, but like I said, you see, this is a program where we first of all, before we started the implementation, there was massive education about people in this program, and educating them, those who wanted. And when we do proposals, call for proposals, it's free. It's in the papers, and then after we put it in the papers, we do an information sharing meeting all over, and we do
with all applicants,
before even they apply, to give them the basics of the grant, how to apply, what they need to have. And we also do massive radio programs all over the country. But you see, some districts like Koboko, like he's saying, some people don't apply because I think because they.
I think, Mary, let me help you on this particular one. You are not like a Mioga. You are not youth livelihood. You are not you are not a parish development model. I think that's how people should know that it's not you who forces yourself onto them. Because even if you do not want to develop, government will force itself to you by coming to the parish. Even if you do not want, but government will force itself there at the parish. Youth livelihood, it will definitely have to come to the district to be there. But I think the difference with the private sector foundation and your skills development facility, people should not accuse you as if you've not reached out to them in a way. And maybe finally, let all national programs, whether government or non-government programs, benefit all Ugandans, not be selected regions. He's in Kakumiro and the voice of the people in Kakumiro. I actually just explained that in Ndugu Agaba. This particular program of Mary and the team at the Private Sector Foundation is not like Emyoga.
Okay.
Emyoga is at the constituency level.
Maybe even if it's not like Emyoga, still it's a government program that should
benefit everybody.
But what I want to call upon Ugandans, if there are such programs, please take in keen interest to look out what are the programs. If they have told you there is this skilling program, wherever you are, take keen interest. Come, inquire, because you know why people miss out. Some people say that this program is not in our villages and what. Some people don't even mind. Some Ugandans, you wake up, you sit, you don't even listen to radio. So tell me, how will you know about the project? How will you know? By the time you get to know the project is coming to an end. So it's not selective, it's free and fair and open. So take in keen interest into government programs. That's what I call upon Ugandans.
The people who do not know about these particular programs now know about how much money Lionel Messi is going to get at PSG.
Exactly.
Yes, they know about
things that will not build Ugandans. Ugandans, yes, I'm calling upon you to know.
Somebody here says he's in Lango sub-region. Another says, hello, good morning. And we feel to be part of the program. Can host, we feel to be part of the program. How can Fisheries Training Institute in Entebbe also? Okay, Fisheries wants to be hosted on this program. Fortunately, these messages are all seen by the producer. They will get you. Hello, Mr. Jagan, and good morning. And Mary, we in Pakwach appreciate the program. Why don't we see initiatives in Pakwach and the Greater Navy? And Ngengo Eric, well, from Pakwach, thank you so much. He's from Pakwachi. Another one says, because we're ending, advise me please, I have an NGO right from the village dealing with skills development in schools, in school dropouts who lack money. But where are you? You don't have a name and you don't know where you are, so how should you be advised and helped? Finally, thank you so much for the program. Can we hear her contacts? And if possible, can she share with us the website for the program for viewing? I am viewing from Barara. Okay, somebody in Barara wants your contacts. And finally here, thank you so much for the show. Andrew from Lira. I want to know, I want to kindly explain to me how to apply. Well, Lira, Koboko, wherever time has run out, you have just 30 minutes or 30 seconds to maybe just give your contacts. They will follow you and get more details from you, Mary.
Okay. I'm going to give them my contacts, but one thing I have to tell you that this program has come to an end. We are actually in the last phases of closing the project that ends in December 31st. However, we have other programs at Private Sector Foundation. You can log in on the Private Sector Foundation website and be able to know. You please benefit. We currently have a MasterCard program that is targeting youth. We are looking at youth employment. Please let them log in at Private Sector Foundation website, www.psfuuganda.com. Then you will be able to see more of the program. Those who want to know about what SDF has been doing, you can log on at the SDF website, www.sdfuganda.com, and you'll be able to get more information.
Okay, thank you so much. Somebody wishes a good luck here from Bale, another from Kumi, another is a commercial officer, a Cosmos from a BIM district in Karamoja. All of them actually here. We're sending to ask for your contacts, and the contact is www.psfu. PSFU
Uganda as one word, yes.com.
PSFU Uganda as one word.com. Okay, and of course when you get there, you will of course have the chance to look at their phone numbers, different and everything.
Our phone numbers, contacts, and the programs we have, projects that are currently running. You will be able to see them.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mary, for joining us on Good Morning Uganda Extra for yet another day. My name is Jagan Asemakola Ziksoka. It's Wednesday, and at 10 p.m. tonight, Charles Odongtho will also be coming on with Behind the Headlines, and we implore that you be part of it. We continue serving you via at the National Public Broadcaster. For God and my country, we love you so much. Stay well and blessed for the morning. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Echa COVID-19 kijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.